Was severe flooding in China's leading grain-producing region in the northeast, killing at least 14 people. Concerns about food security are on the rise as floodwaters submerged farmlands. Meanwhile, a heroic 105-hour rail rescue operation was successfully carried out in Beijing after torrential rainfall trapped several workers and passengers in a train. Almost 1,000 stranded passengers were saved in the rescue operations. On the other hand, as floodwaters began to drop over the weekend in Zhuzhou, residents of the city mentioned how their challenges had only just begun. Our next report gets you more details on how the city bore the brunt of the worst storms to hit the northern province of Hebei in decades. Take a look.
In the flood-ravaged Chinese city of Zhuozhou, local residents are returning home to take stock of the damage done to their homes and livelihoods. Li Yujie owns a hardware store in the area. She returned home to find her shop inundated by mud and debris, rendering most of her stock unsellable. She says she feels overwhelmed and that it's going to be impossible to clean up. Nearby, this local resident described a similar scene at his home.
As soon as I entered the house, there was over a foot of mud. All the furniture was ruined, completely soaked by floodwater. I estimated the water level to be as high as me, 5'9". That's how high the water was inside the house. The yard is filled with a terrible stench, and along the way, houses have collapsed.
Northeastern China, Beijing and Hebei province have seen heavy rainfall and floods since Typhoon Doksuri made landfall in southern China 2 weeks ago. 14 people were reported to have died over the weekend in the Chinese city of Shulan. State media showed footage of the city completely inundated in floodwater. Supplies were being delivered to residents via helicopter, and desperate residents were being carried to safety on the backs of emergency workers. The deaths in Shulan in northeastern Jilin province add to the more than 20 who died last week in Beijing and Hebei. Authorities have yet to provide an overall death toll for the entire country, but the record-breaking rains have disrupted the lives of millions. China on Sunday allocated an additional $48.8 million to support rescues and house repairs in the flood-hit regions.